What is this law about RA 10816 Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016? This act seeks to promote environment-friendly, efficient, and sustainable farm practices, provide alternative recreational facilities and farm tourism activities, and promote health and wellness with high-quality farm produce food. Section 1, short title. This act shall be known as the Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016. It is an act providing for the development and promotion of the farm tourism in the Philippines. Section 2, Declaration of Policy. The state recognized the right of the people to information on matters of public concern and adopt and implements a policy of full public disclosure of all its transactions involving the public interest, subject to the procedures and limitations provided by this Act. Section 3, Definition of Terms. As defined in Section 3 of the Act, refers to all national government infrastructure projects under public service facilities, engineering works and service contracts, including projects undertaken by the government-owned and controlled corporations or projects covered by the Republic Act No. 6957 as amended by the Republic Act. As used in this Act, the following terms shall mean as follows. So, the farm tourism is a supplementary activity to farming and provides an additional source of income. It draws visitors with such activities as harvesting fruits and vegetables, feeding and caring for farm animals, or the fishing, camping, hiking, and sampling local cuisine. Farm tourism activity. Any activity carried out on a farm that allows visitors and tourists to enjoy farming or fishing experience through education, recreation, or leisure. So for instance, the agritourism activities include food and beverage accommodation, cultural and leisure activities. For example, biking, horseback, riding, and farm education that allows visitors and tourists to visit, get involved in farm activities and to enjoy and learn rural lifestyle. To attract visitors onto a farm, ranch, or other agricultural business for the purposes of entertaining or educating the visitors while generating income for the farm, ranch, or business owner. Farm tourism operator. Any person, company, or recognized group who is the owner or overall charge of a farm tourism camp. So, any person nga, kaila siya or it is the owner of the overall farm tourist site. Farm tourism practitioner. Any person who is engaged in providing one or more farm tourism activities. Like, Drisad is the person who provide farm activities or siya ang facilitator. Accreditation, a certification officially recognizing a farm tourism camp as having complied with the minimum standards for farm tourism. So, the accreditation is a vital tourism industry asset designed to establish and continually improve quality and industry standards for conducting a tourism business. Or Farm Tourism Strategic Action Plan. There is hereby mandated the formulation and implementation of the Farm Tourism Strategic Action Plan, herein referred to as the plan, which shall be the comprehensive set of the programs, projects, and other activities for the growth of farm tourism in the country. So, the plan shall be integrated and be made consistent with a National Tourism Development Plan. Section 5, Creation of the Farm Tourism Development Board. The board shall formulate plans and programs for the development and promotion of farm tourism in the country and shall set the overall direction for the implementations of the plan. Section 6, Composition. The Farm Tourism Development Board shall be composed of the following. First, T as the chairman person. B. The Secretary of the DA as a vice chairperson. Third, Secretary of the Department of Trade and Industry, or the DTI, the President of an educational institution providing farm tourism programs to be identified by the DOT and DA, and the President of National Farm Tourism Organization, the President of National Inbound Tour Operators Association, and the President of the National Federation of Farmers Cooperatives. Section 7. Board Secretariat. There shall be a Board Secretariat to be composed of the DOT, Office of Tourism Development, Planning, Research, and Information Management, and other technical personnel of the DOT, the DA, and the DTI as assigned by their respective secretaries. Investment, promotion, financing, and incentives. The DTO, the DA, and the DTI shall develop programs linking stakeholders in the farm tourism industry. Government, financial institutions, government-owned or controlled corporations, the private bank, financial cooperatives, and other lending institutions to increase access to credit for farm tourism. Section 9. Market, Research, and Information. The DOT, Office of Tourism Development, Planning, Research, and Information Management, and the Agriculture Training Institute, the DA shall conduct researches and studies on farm tourism market. So, trends and innovations, industry manpower, needs and development, sustainable agriculture practices and education, and other issues that may be identified by the board. Of farm tourism camps. The DOT and the DA shall jointly promulgate and enforce the standards and guidelines on the accreditations of farm tourism camps. Accreditations shall be on a voluntary basis and shall be valid for 2 years. Accreditations may be suspended or revoked for any violation of the standards. Section 11. Market, Promotion, and Development. The DOT and the Tourism Promotions Board, the DA, the DTI, and LGUs shall include farm tourism in their marketing and promotions programs and support operators and of accredited farm tourism campus, their associations in conducting and joining local and international conference, congress, trade fairs, and exhibits. Inbound tour operators shall include accredited farm tourism camps for the part of the suggested itineraries. Section 12. Agriculture and Fishery Research, Development, and Extension. The Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources, Research and Development, and the Bureau of Agricultural Research shall include the technology needs on farm tourism camps and the research and development programs in agricultural, aquatic, and natural resources, and shall disseminate such results to the DOT, the DA, the DTI, or other concerned government agencies, farm tourism operators and practitioners, state, universities, and colleges. Section 13. Institutional and Human Resource Development. Other private sector groups shall establish and implement an institutional and human resources development programs for farm tourism development, which shall include but not be limited to a capacity building for farm tourism operators to enable them to comply with the DOT, technical, vocational, educational, and training for farm tourism, industry practitioners, including farm tourism, and camps works to actively contribute to productivity. Support their annual development plans and priority investment programs, infrastructure projects, and transportation programs to expand access to farm tourism camps. The DOT and DA shall coordinate previous agencies and infrastructure requirements of established and potential farm tourism camps. 15. Implementing rules and regulations. The board, in consultations with concerned government agencies, LGUs, and their legs, and farm tourism industry stakeholders, shall issue the implementing rules and regulations within 1990 days starting from the effectively of this Act. 15. Implementing rules and regulations. The board, in consultations with concerned government agencies, LGUs, and their legs, and farm tourism industry stakeholders, shall issue the implementing rules and regulations within 1990 days starting from the effectively of this Act. 16. Repealing clause. All laws, decrees, executive orders, rules and regulations, and other issuances or parts thereof inconsistent with provisions of this Act are hereby repealed or modified accordingly. If any part of provision of this act is declared unconstitutional or invalid, other parts of these provisions herein which are not affected thereby shall continue be in full force and effect. Section 18. Effectivity. This act shall take effect 15 days after its publication in the official gazette or in a nation newspapers or general circulation. That's all. Thank you for listening.